Enterprise TV, a tradition of truth.
To our viewers in Nigeria and across the world, you're welcome to Enterprise Morning on Enterprise TV. I am Henry Igwibike. Let's quickly make a run through the newspaper headlines before heading into our main conversation for the morning. In the meantime, don't forget to follow us on all our social media handles and subscribe to our YouTube channel at Enterprise TV 7 and press the notification button so you get notified whenever we drop our contents in the studio. With me is Mr. Cyril Abaku. He is a public affairs analyst and a communicator. You're welcome to Enterprise Morning on Enterprise TV. Now let's make a quick run on our daily newspaper headlines reviews for the morning, and starting off with Daily Trust. The big story there says stop subsidy payment, increase petrol price to 750 naira a litre. World Bank tells FG. On the rider we have once increase in VAT taxes for SMEs. Advice on fuel price hike insensitive done. Subsidy removal hasn't brought expected gains in oil revenue. And fuel selling above 700 naira in the north. On the top sleeve of the same newspaper, we have ASU excited as federal government exempts universities, polytechnics, orders from IPPIS. Tinubu fires fan. NCAA NEMA, NCAT NIMET, and NCIB bosses. CBN suspends new request for intervention loans. On the downsleep of the Daily Trust, we have Fubara presents budget to 4 lawmakers, demolishes Rivers Assembly House. Now, Mr. Cyril, let's go to the big story. Stop subsidy payment, increase petrol price to 750 naira a litre. World Bank tells FG. Is there something we are not seeing from the World Bank? Because it seems like the World Bank is helping at the same time not helping. What is happening? Help us make sense of the story.
Well, when you talk about the World Bank, you can already tell, for example, what direction it is they will take when it comes to economic policy. It's a Bretton Woods institution. So let me say accused. They've been accused of being neoliberal. But of course, I don't think that being neoliberal is particularly an accusation. It's who they are. It's their ideology.
Okay.
Good. Now, over the years, they've maintained a consistency ideological path of advising countries of what to do, what direction to take. The IMF and the World Bank would never tell you to pay subsidy. They'll say take it off because, take it off and let the masses be the ones to bear the brunt, or more like work for what they for what they enjoy. But if you read the headline again, it says stop paying subsidies.
Yes.
The question is Nigeria still paying subsidies? On the strength of what evidence is the IMF now saying government should stop paying subsidies, it means subsidy is being paid again.
But I think there is a reason for subsidy payment in the first place.
No. It was to cushion the impact
of course, yes, in the economy.
But the question is government still paying subsidy or not?
Okay, let's assume the government is still paying subsidy. How is that? How is the World Bank not seeing the importance of subsidy payments on Nigerians?
So let me also ask, if they are paying subsidy and we're buying petrol for 1,000 plus a litre in some parts of Nigeria, how does stop paying subsidy how will that not even hike it up to like 2,000 a litre? The economics does not match up. The math is something is illogical about the mathematics. If you're paying subsidy from petrol and we're buying petrol for 700, 600, 1,000 in some places.
Okay.
If you now took subsidy out of the picture, what will the price of petrol now become? What we should be talking about is let us deal with corruption, crippling corruption in Nigeria. And let us ask ourselves, why are the finalists, why did this not stop up in the first place? And why is it that they still can't work till now? How can we deal with that humongous? The problem is corruption. It's not about the price of petrol or subsidy to pay or not to pay. For all you care, there's no economy that can run without subsidies. Even in America, they pay subsidy on food.
Yeah.
So the question is not about subsidy. It's about the abuse. You say you're paying 400 billion on subsidy. You know the whole thing is just benumbing. It's insane. Sometimes it's better you don't even talk about it to keep your sanity. You are paying for 400 billion on subsidy. Then the president came and said, subsidy is gone.
Mm-hmm.
How much are they saving? What are they doing with what they're saving? Nobody knows. So 2 or 3 months down the line, they realized that taking subsidy out was a mistake in the first place. You have never sat on the chair of the president. You took subsidy off from your inaugural speech. Then you realize that this thing shouldn't have been like this. You now started paying subsidy. I believe that they are paying subsidy back. You now started paying subsidy again. But you can't come out and say we've gone back to paying subsidy. Mm-hmm. And yet the price of petrol didn't crash.
No, let's assume, let's apply some magic wand here and assume that the federal government possibly, allegedly, are paying subsidies, but not as much as they used to before. Because I know that NNPC, officially, NNPC sells fuel for 568 naira per litre, right? So, which means if it's alleged that the federal government is paying subsidy for it, that is the reason NNPC sells for 568 naira. Because if they don't, then we might arrive to what the World Bank is saying, that even NNPC might start selling for 750 naira.
Let's even come home to the fact of the matter. When you deregulate the sector,
yes,
when you open up the market, you want demand and supply to be the determinant of price. Is that not so?
Okay.
If you're paying subsidy to the NNPC, how many licensed fuel people, these importers or marketers, have access to go and import petrol and come and sell? They all buy from the NNPC.
Yes.
It means government is giving it with the right hand and taking it back from the left hand. That in itself is a crime against economics. It's corruption in itself. So you must deal with this problem of corruption. All of this, you are saying assuming.
Yes.
I too am saying assuming. So we are on a basic economic policy burden on Nigerians' well-being. We are sitting in the TV studio to be saying assuming. When it's not a classified intelligence operation, when it's not like we're trying to bust a crime, when it's when it's supposed to be a normal government service, okay, that we ought to know what's really going on there. The only thing we are doing, sitting and doing is assuming. You see why I said the form of paying subsidies, because all the so-called landing costs, the price of the dollar that went up. The price of the dollar went up, and yet they were able to stabilize NNPC selling at 500 something. It means that somebody is paying for the difference somewhere.
Yeah, so that Nigerians can have it easier.
But Nigerians are not having it easy. The fuel queues are still there. And how much are we buying it for? You said NNPC selling at 500. I don't know when last you drove into an NNPC station to buy it at that price.
No, that is what they sell.
No, maybe depends on what part of town you're in, brother. The NNPC stations, I have not bought fuel for 500 naira at NNPC stations since this whole thing started. You can check it. NNPC is even one. How about the other big players? How are they sourcing forex? How are they sourcing the product itself? A lot of business have gone on that. And but the thing is, that you have NNPC station on number 7 of William Street, for example, and have Odogbolu, whoever is selling petrol on that same street at less than number 20. NNPC is selling at 500, and Odogbolu is selling at 1,000 or 700. Something there must. Is it that the one that are selling at Odogbolu has gold inside of it or what? In the same economy, under the same circumstances, one is more precious to government than the other. Look, what government is even doing in NNPC does not even explain or come in for what economics called protectionism. It doesn't come in for it. Because NNPC is supposed to be privatized. Am I correct?
Yeah.
Who are the shareholders? Minister of Petroleum, Minister of Finance, maybe the presidency, whoever it is. So this is government now trying to organize, because before the subsidy was taken away, petrol was being sold at 200 or something naira per litre. Am I correct? And even then it was excruciating. So is it that if government is doing everything it is doing, is it that this government only came to impose and foist corruption and hardship on Nigerians by using the NNPC and then all the other institutions to just sell the thing at any price, and so that you know they've in the end sort of punished everybody for not committing it for no kind of hours. You took subsidy away, you're paying subsidy. We are buying petrol from your own distributor, from your own vendor,
From the official, yeah.
for 500 plus. The other people are selling at 800,
Yes,
700 plus. So what is government now doing? They came to impose hardship on us. There is no argument of there's no temporary hardship on it. This is pure government service. I'm even looking for the right one to call it. It's pure government, either incompetence or just wickedness. Is this basic economic? Why is the World Bank and the American government and Europe that we are all embracing President Tinubu, and you know it was a baby. They were, suddenly now they are changing tone. Have you observed it? They are changing tone. If you can observe it,
Yeah.
they are changing tone. The World Bank is now telling the president stop paying subsidy. You see, before now, I don't know what document. Like I said, I don't know what document they relied on. But for them to even be saying stop paying subsidy, it means that they're kind of they're no longer willing to stand behind the curtain to talk. They've come out and said you must stop this thing you're doing, as if they're children.
Oh well. Let's move to the next newspaper, and this is on this day. The big story there says Fubara asserts control in Rivers presents 2024 budget to 4-member assembly. And on the right, we have a bombed legislative complex for reconstruction. Federal government denies involvement in state political crisis. 27 defectors, lawmakers ousted by legislature. And on the top sleep of this day newspaper, we have Sanwo-Olu presents 2.246 trillion naira 2024 appropriation bill to Lagos State House of Assembly. On the downsleep of the newspaper, we have Tinubu approves leadership changes in aviation and aerospace development parastatal. Now let's go to the top sleep of what made this day newspaper today. Sanwo-Olu presents 2.246 trillion 2024 appropriation bill to Lagos State House of Assembly. Do you think that Lagosians are really feeling the impact of Sanwo-Olu-led administration in the first place?
Well, the person of the governor is a very congenial, very friendly, very easygoing.
His persona, that is.
Yes.
Okay.
He's a very lively fellow.
Okay, now let's go to his leadership competence.
I have been to an event once, and he was taking a selfie with somebody, you know.
Yeah.
The leadership side, I mean, he brings his person into government, obviously. But again, the question of the impact of his administration, I think is something that everybody can see.
What can everybody see?
I would like to think that for any Lagos governor to truly stand out as an exceptional governor, he has to have dealt with the traffic situation in the state.
Okay.
I don't think Sanwo-Olu has significantly brought a change to that aspect. If you look at these themes and later the things plus agenda, transport was the first item on the list.
Yes.
The bucket. It was the but I don't think he has been able to transmute or translate his vision into reality. On that score, it can't be said that he has performed exceptionally, he has performed outstandingly. It's not difficult to fix the transport problem. You know, what's it called? The gridlocks you find in many parts of the state. Not just federal roads, but I'm talking about state roads.
Yes.
We've come to live with it as a normal thing. We've come to see it as a way of life. Then recently, the other issue that came up about spending billions to buy, billions of millions to buy air freshener for the deputy.
Yes.
Another 600 million or so to buy vehicles.
The vehicles and all.
Chief of staff.
Yes.
Like, did the governor see this? Did he sign up on this? Before now, his predecessor, one of his predecessors, Governor Fashola, we spent 400 million to build a website. So, you know, this government, is it over licensing or over invoicing? Is also an issue that anybody who wants to cut his name in gold must deal with. But I don't think that someone apart from this person, which is easily sellable, I do not think that in terms of his leadership and deliverables, he has stood above his ancestors. So that's his only demeaning factor. Otherwise, as a person, he's a man I admire for his charisma.
But because if you do understand Lagos State politics very well, cut it out for them and thumbs up to the Lagos State administration. The smooth transition of governance from one person to another is been seamless, right? Now, if you ask an average Lagosian, all right, to, in the snap of a finger, mention governors that have done so well. The first name that comes to mind is Fashola. The next person that comes to mind is Amputi. Is it ever possible in the next 10 years to have Sanwo-Olu mentioned amongst this list?
Well, it is up to him, and I think he has the time he has time he has the time to make his name count. So, for example, a lot of feeder roads into Lagos are in very bad shape.
Very, very bad shape.
He can look at that, and then need to look at programs that are able to significantly deal with the human capital of Lagosians. How do I mean? Lagos is supposed to be a tourist hub in Africa.
Yes.
If you ask me, what will it take to make a place like Badagry the most visited city in Africa? And perhaps between the third and fifth most visited in the world. What will it cost to make Badagry, given its colonial slavery
appeal,
yes, potential and its history basically? How can we make Badagry become the centerpiece of global tourism? Make it the second or third most. So these are projects that can be undertaken with levity or as an afterthought. It has to be something. I mean, till tomorrow, people talk about Jack Ondeh.
Very well. Yes. Sorry, I didn't mention that name, Jack Ondeh.
And I doubt if Jack Ondeh was a graduate. I think he was just a journalist who left school and became a journalist and became what he became.
And in less than some couple of years before he was ousted by the military coup, he was able to do lots of things.
Between 79 and 83, it's about the willingness and determination. If you're willing to do it, all that you need to do is to talk to Bua or Dangote or some of the cement manufacturers and tell them, go look for these feeder roads and tie them with concrete. We'll give you tax credit, and the job gets done. That is if he's willing to go that far and to go all out. Henry is entirely up to the governor. It's entirely up to him. This is not far from heaven.
And if this might not directly be connected, but of course it has a connection to the Lagos State Assembly administration, the appropriation bill, and so on and so forth. In 2023, isn't it appalling that Lagos State government still operates the Agbero insensitized transport system in 2023?
If you went to a place like Oshodi, there are nearly 30 or 50 different unions. When the bus pulls up at the Oshodi, you see 3-4 people come, 1,500, and like there are nearly 30 or 50 of those. Is it unions or sub-unions? Frankly speaking, Henry, the challenge could be political, could be economic, could be a combination of both, or could be even a whole lot more. But like I said, it's something that we must talk about, deal with the human capital. Those people are there because they are jobless. You're talking about those Agbero. If you check Oshodi and all of these places, there are people who seem not to have jobs. They just sit back there, smoking Igbo from morning till night. Who will cater for those? And that's why the crime rate will continue to be on the rise. If you want to address these issues, you must deal with people's minds and be able to make the state into a place that people that can, where jobs are created. I mean, not just that people are, because you have a skill, you can have a job. They are skilled in the way that they're able to create jobs for themselves. Yeah. So if you're able to plug into that space, why not? There's going to be a turnaround. But if you fail to do it and do it enough, yes, do it convincing enough, you won't make any significant headway. I just hope that the remaining years on the governor's plate I'm going to count for something.
All right.
But like I said, it's entirely up to me.
All right, fine. So let's move through the next daily for today, and this is on The Guardian. And on the top, sleep, which made the main story today, national statistics. Population outgrows economy amid a rising dependent misery. And on the down sleep of the newspaper, we have Tinubu sacks head of aviation agencies. FEC approves 6.32 billion naira a contract. Fubara Fangs demolishes assembly complex, presents 2024 budget to 4 lawmakers. Mr. Cyril, let's talk about a bit on our population. It says here our population outgrows economy amid rising dependent misery. In other parts of the world, the population is a blessing to them. In China, in India, it's the reason why they are the top economies of the world. Why is it looking like population is seeming like a curse to us?
Our population is still a blessing. What, Henry, the cost to us is government.
Okay.
The cost to us, I'll say it again, is government. Any population is always a blessing. Because when you look at population, you're looking at individuals, human beings, okay? You're looking at potential, you're looking at capacity, you're looking at, and no human being is a waste.
True.
It is a material whether you can speak English or not, or write English or not. The people who fix cars on the road, mechanics, may not be literate, but they have the knowledge to fix vehicles, which means they can learn. It depends if you're able to teach them what they know in a language they understand. So there's somebody who is a waste. If you can translate Einstein into Yoruba, for example, and Igbo, the man, even if he wasn't learned language, can understand and interpret that to you. Yes, can understand Shakespeare, can understand Tolstoy, can understand Shoyinka, for example. So why are we, like I said, the curse is government. It's nothing more than that. The curse is government. Any day we are blessed with a government that wakes up to its responsibility and knows what to do, I can tell you that the sky will be a takeoff point. But the whole story about dependency syndrome, again, is about conversion. For any country to become a great nation in the world, 3 things must happen. A minimum of 3 things. 1, population must be good. 2, economy must be strong. 3, you must have a strong military might. In the past, we had a military that was fighting wars in Sierra Leone, Liberia, was strong. Okay? Today we have the natural resources that we've always had. We still have them today. Petroleum, lithium, all of these things. Bitumen, you know. And then you also want to talk about population. It's there. It's just there. Today our population is looked at as a market, not as a collection of people's minds and brains. So all we need to do is a government that is able to do the linkages and put us where we ought to be, and boom, and we're going to be there. That's
a very good submission. It is. Well, this is just about the time we have on our newspaper reviews for today. Of course, I won't leave without saying thank you to Mr. Cyril Abaku for always making our time to be part of our Enterprise Morning every time on Enterprise TV. When we return, PDP wants INEC to declare all seats of defected Rivers lawmakers vacant. Stay with us. Don't go in.
Enterprise TV, your one-stop shop for news, programs, human angle stories, the economy, sports, and much more. We go the extra mile to bring incredible details to you. So hop on the train now. Enterprise TV, a tradition of truth.